So round 4 of season 12 of PCA Sim Racing. We are basically at the halfway point of the season and Summit Point. Here we go. We didn't show qualifying, didn't have the best qualifying, qualified like P6, but oddly enough, Polisek on pole forgot to grid, and this left us a pretty good opportunity to make up points because that's our main championship rival at this point in the race. We were about to get underway, so it was weird. Qualified P6, but we only have 3 cars in front of us. So a couple of cars didn't make the start of the race, apparently. But pretty decent start going down turn 1. I was going to be a little bit cautious. And to be fair, I didn't expect to make up any positions. For some reason, just didn't really feel that comfortable with the car on the track once I got into the session. And I was running like P12 in practice and then put in, I would say, not a great lap, but was P6, and then now we are already up into P4 in the race. And we have Cyphers in front of us and Joachim in P2. And at this point, I kind of knew that I had a decent amount of pace. We almost try to make a move down the inside, just sticking our nose in there, really aggressive at the start. And for me, I feel like I have a bit more pace and a bit more confidence at the start of these races when the tires are cold. And I just really try to use this to my advantage to be as aggressive as I can, but also safe, of course. So still have a long race, but I knew that just outright raw pace, I was not going to have it in me to, make it all the way to the front unless there was a crash. So, going the second lap, I knew that the gap in front was pretty close. So again, I was just trying to make up positions, and this was a bit of a sketchy moment. Getting past Derek Cyphers, he defends the inside, we move to the outside, but apparently there was a bit of netcode. And you can see we have a little bit of contact, and I sort of just chop across his car. Wasn't intentional, but I was making the move around the outside, even though I knew it wasn't really going to work. And then, I just felt some contact, and then I just ended up in front of his car. A bit of a weird iRacing thing there, but we made the move up into P3, and then we can see P2 in front of us, and P1. Robbie Prescott just had really good pace. Just knew that. After I got past Joachim, which you'll see here, the gap just kind of stayed the same throughout the whole race. So shout out to Hyperion Racing Team, the team that's been supporting me throughout most of this league and most of this season. So that's been fun to have that support and a cool looking livery as well. So 56 minutes left. Only 5 minutes have passed. We're in P3, so kind of hopes are looking a bit higher to score points than when we qualified. A couple laps later, this is when we got past Joachim, which was kind of really need to get by him as soon as we could if we wanted to close the gap to P1 to potentially win. Didn't think really a win was possible, but it's right there. You can see P1 in front, but of course it's one thing to catch and it's one thing to pass, but it's also one thing to catch as well, especially around a track like this where the pace just really wasn't there. You can see it goes a little bit wide, and we go side by side, just planted the car on the inside. There's a bit of camber there, and just the inside line is always going to be the best, so that's how we got the move done up into P2. So started P6, up into P2. I was pretty happy with where I was, and to be completely honest, I would have been, I was never going to be satisfied with P2. I haven't won a race yet in this season, and if I finish in P2, which you'll find out, this will be my third P2 finish in a row. So it's like P1 has been close, should have won in Donington, but didn't go my way. And 15 minutes left, I was not able to really put a dent in the gap that we had to P1. Kind of stayed around 4 or 5 seconds, 3 seconds. And this is the pit stop. We put a bit more margin in the car than we needed to just to be on the safer side. Again, at this point, I knew that I wouldn't really be able to bring that gap down with the pace that I had. So just played it safe, but this didn't really affect kind of the overall result of the race. In hindsight, I think the setup could have been a bit more on the edge. It felt a bit too safe, and definitely had a bit of more understeer than oversteer, and was kind of just driving on the limit of the setup and not really of the car. Which is kind of why I just felt like no matter what I did, I just couldn't really put a dent in the gap. So you can see now it's 6.5, 6.6 seconds. So just bringing the car home. This is the last lap here of the race. this track is fun. It's a bit of Mickey Mouse track. I believe I had my first win in touring car here about 2 years ago when I used to live stream. So I knew this track quite well. Wasn't the most fun track that I've had kind of practicing, but ended up being a fun race and kind of a lonely, boring race, which is why this video is so short and why, you know, not really much happened compared to the other races. No crazy battles. Just did everything I could to make up positions at the start of the race. And then from there, it was just kind of like 6-second gap in front, 6-second gap behind, and yeah, just boring, kind of out on my own. But this does bring home good points for the championship, and this does put us in the lead of the championship. So yeah, now I think all I have to do is finish in the top 3 in the next 3 races, and that could bring us the win. But that is going to be it. I will not be here for Willow Springs. I will be at the PT Autosport shootout, which there'll be more information to come on that. But hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like down below. I have coaching available as well if you want to check that out in the description. Fun race, but also at the same time kind of in no man's land. So pretty standard race, just kind of like bring home some points. But next race is gonna be Bathurst. That's gonna be fun. So we will see you guys there. And yeah, see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.